Hey everyone, how's it going? Hope you are good. Sorry, it's been a while, haven't been making many videos recently. I just went on holiday to Mykonos, it was really good. So yeah, I had a bit of a break, but now I'm back and I am testing the Insta360 One R 1-inch module. So I didn't get this straight away, I kind of let the camera develop a bit more, get some more updates. Then I finally decided to get the 1-inch module. Now I've got the complete set. So in this video, I'm going to be comparing the 1-inch module with the 4K module, which is the one you get with the standard package. So basically the 1-inch module is essentially designed to upgrade from this 4K modules. I should also point out that pretty much every version of the Insta360 One R, so every lens, every camera, is now on sale. So I think this is the cheapest that it's ever been. I think it's something like $50 off, I think, for the 1-inch module version. I don't know, look on the link that I've posted in the description and you'll see that the Insta360 One R is on sale. And also if you use my link in the description of this video, you will also get an invisible selfie stick like this for free if you use the link in the description. And yeah, this will allow you to shoot some really cool footage and have that invisible selfie stick effect. So this video is basically going to be a comparison between these two. I've gone out and shot a lot of footage with both of these modules at the same time in the same place so we can see what the difference is. Now, spoiler alert, obviously the 1-inch module is going to be better than the 4K module, where that is just a given. The 1-inch module has better optics, better technology, a larger sensor, high resolution, so it is better, but the question is how much better, and is it worth spending that extra money to get it? Because let's face it, it is a little bit expensive, but maybe it's worth it. Let's find out. So before we go into looking at the footage, let's just talk about some specifications of this lens or this module, whatever you want to call it. So the 1-inch module is called the 1-inch module because it features a 1-inch sensor. It has a maximum resolution of 5.2K. and it can shoot 4K at 60 frames per second. So let's go straight into looking at some footage. They're going to start with some nighttime comparisons because I think that's when the 1-inch lens is going to be showing its worth, it's going to be showing its value, and that's where it's going to perform a lot better. Most of the time I shot automatic with both lenses because I just wanted it to be fair, but obviously, especially at nighttime, you can get a lot better quality if you do change some manual settings. I will say that I didn't color correct any of the footage in this comparison in either lens, so it is straight out of the camera. It's just sometimes I may have adjusted some manual options. So in this first comparison shot in nighttime, we are looking at, so in these first videos, we're looking at nighttime footage shot with both lenses, and you can immediately see a difference between the two. Definitely the 1-inch lens performing a lot better. It's definitely sharper thanks to the 5.2K resolution. The 4K module is obviously limited to 4K resolution, so even just that, it's going to produce a sharper image. But more importantly, it's just how it captures light, how it captures detail, especially in low light situation. The 4K module has a lot more noise, it's a lot more blurry, and a lot more overexposed in the very bright areas. So the 1-inch lens, because it has a larger sensor, will be able to deal with the difference between very dark and very bright areas. So yes, in these few comparisons that we're looking at here, I do think you can agree with me that the 1-inch module is definitely looking the superior. Is it absolutely like 10 times better? I wouldn't say so. I mean, in some situations, yes. So for example, here we are in Piccadilly Circus with this very bright LCD. Actually, I think it's the largest LCD screen in the world here in London. And the difference here is quite dramatic. And I think in situations like this, if you did really want some professional quality, I mean, it's maybe not going to be a DSLR or anything like that, but if you wanted your travel vlogs and you wanted your videos to just look slightly more professional in low light situations, I think the 1R, the 1-inch module, I should say, is going to be worth it. I will also point out that in some of these low light footage that I shot, you will see some like banding of the lights, some kind of beams shooting out of the bright areas. Now, the reason for this is because if you put any kind of smudge or fingerprint on any of these lenses, then it's going to create that kind of effect, which obviously you don't want. Now, I will say that I was cleaning the lenses, both of them, a lot, but because of the modular nature of this camera, you have to literally unscrew it, screw it back in, hold it, take it all apart, put it back in, and it's very easy to get your fingers on the lenses. So even though I was cleaning them quite often, clearly not enough, because sometimes there will be kind of like these smudginess. So make sure you clean your lenses often with like a microfiber cloth or something. So that is nothing to do with the lenses. That was just my stupidity or my inability to clean some lenses, but for most of the time it seemed to be fine. Now, a great thing about both of the lenses, or just the Insta360 One R in general, is that they can both shoot 60 frames per second in 4K resolution, which enables you to slow things down so you can do slow motion video kind of half the speed of normal, and it looks really, really smooth. Now again, I think the 1-inch module, especially in low light situations, looks really good when you film in slow motion. So let's just take a look. It all looks very smooth to me. Usually filming slow motion video in dark situations or situations where it's nighttime but there's a lot of artificial light, it's very difficult to make it look good, but I think the 1-inch lens actually does a pretty decent job here. But then again, so does the 4K module. We can take a look here at some slow motion footage. Now it is a lot more noisy, I think, especially in very dark areas, a lot more noise, but to be honest, everything looks pretty smooth. Again, like the people moving, it all looks pretty good. So far, looking at the footage from both of these lenses, I do notice quite a big difference, to be honest, when shooting in the low light scenarios, in the low light environments, that the 1-inch lens does perform a lot better. There is a lot less noise. The bane of anyone's life shooting in low light or dark environments is the noise that cameras produce, especially cheaper lenses, which, let's be honest, the 4K module is probably going to be a pretty cheap lens. It's not that advanced. It does a decent job for, you know, travel vlogging, like basic stuff, but in low light, it does produce a lot of noise. But let's take a look at some footage shot during the day and let's see if the difference between the two is equally as noticeable. So here we are in London, again, it's daytime, and here is some side-by-side comparisons between the 1-inch lens and the 4K module. So I think here the difference is quite noticeable once again. You can see some difference here in the color that it picks up. To be honest, I had to switch out the lenses so the light isn't going to be exactly the same. This was probably filmed 2 minutes after each other, but the color here is quite different. The 1-inch module producing more saturated color. I'm not sure which one is more realistic, to be honest, but I do prefer the color coming out of the 1-inch module. But I do think the sun here was shining a little bit more, so you will notice some difference in light. While I think in daylight there is clearly a difference between the two lenses, especially if you zoom in, the higher resolution of the 1-inch module allows you to zoom in a bit more and not lose as much detail. It's not as big a difference, let's face it. Even here when we're inside, this is one of my favorite places. I've shown it many times on my channel, this tunnel which has lots of street art. And this was shot literally in the same location with the same lighting conditions. And I don't notice much difference here between the two videos. Now again, this is all shot in automatic mode, so you know it's not going to get the best quality out of each lens, and this is not color corrected. So just having looked at this daytime footage, I do think that there is a visible difference between the two lenses. Obviously the 1-inch lens has the larger sensor, it is picking up more details, it is shooting high resolution, so especially when you are zoomed in, you can definitely notice some more finer details and better dynamic range. It's picking up more color and I think more attractive image in general. The difference is not as apparent as when you shoot in low light conditions at nighttime. I think in daytime the difference isn't going to be as massive, and obviously if I had to choose between the two, I would once again go with the 1-inch module. It's just whether you want to spend the extra money. Are you really going to need that slightly professional edge to your vlogs, to your travel vlogs, to whatever kind of video you're looking to make? So that's it, guys. I think that's just my very quick comparison between these two lenses or modules or whatever you want to call them. I know I've been a bit behind in getting this lens and actually using it, but I think now that the camera has had more firmware updates and it is running smooth now, and I think this is the good time to get it, and it's really awesome. So yeah, I think that sale is only on till the 4th of September, so get on it if you want to get this a little bit cheaper. I'm going to be doing a full review of this lens in the next few days as well. I did take this to Greece, to Mykonos, when I went on my little holiday a few weeks ago. To be honest, didn't shoot as much as I wanted to because I was drunk a lot of the time. But I did use it and I did take it there, so I will be including that footage in my final review. And in that review, I'm going to be doing a lot of color correcting, a lot of editing, and trying to get some really cinematic footage out of the 1-inch module and basically see how good we can make it look. So yeah, check that out if you're interested. Subscribe The 1-inch module reviews are going to be coming soon. It's been a pleasure once again, and I will be back pretty soon with some more videos from this camera and some others. So yeah, check that out, subscribe, like, and do all that other stuff that everyone always asks you to do. So yeah, that's it guys. See you next time. Bye.